Ethereum has bottomed and this high ROI coin will follow its peak. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name is Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet, and I constantly recommend this game if you guys are looking for passive rewards while this market is bleeding out. This game, there's a reference link in the description below. Using that reference link, you get 1,000 Satoshi Bitcoin for free, and you can start mining all these different cryptocurrencies, including Ethereum, which Ethereum actually went from proof of work to proof of stake, so you can no longer mine Ethereum. However, in this game, it allows it. And as you can see, I'm earning 0.000444 XRP every 10 minutes. May not seem like a lot, but it adds up. Now let's actually dig into the TA. So Ethereum, in my opinion, is starting to do its bonding. Even though Bitcoin can have that last pullback, we could see Ethereum pullback to maybe 1400, maybe a tad bit lower, depending on how violent Bitcoin's pullback is. The first thing I'd like to put to your guys' attention is a GON fan. We've been talking about the GON fan for a while these past couple days, and it's very simple. It's essentially a Fibonacci retracement at an angle, and we can see if we line that up where we say that this area right here around 2,600 to 3,000, we are getting support in channel or working within this channel of this teal ray. We pushed all the way down here to the 4-1, held it as support, and then where did we get resistance? Right here at the 2-1. The GON fan works amazingly for trying to figure out the exact areas. You could even do one on the reverse where you take the GON fan and you go from the top to the bottom and kind of draw a trend line, right? So we are essentially needing to get within this area right here, this little pocket around 2,500 to potentially break over that 200 EMA. Then we have all of this area to be working within. Let me circle it for you guys. This is essentially the sweet spot. Let's make it orange so you can see it. And that is where we want Ethereum to be, get a little bit of consolidation, and potentially we're throwing in a bunch of stuff here. So if you've been following along, you kind of have a general idea of what we're looking at. We could see an inverse head and shoulders, whether this be rapid or a very slow movement. Essentially, we are waiting for the Clarity Act. Let's get rid of these GON fans. And if this does pull up within this area, we'd want to see it consolidate, get a little bit of a pullback, and then fill out. So then it would break the neckline and give us the opportunity for that next push up to 5,000 and beyond. If we can get above 5,000 on Ethereum, we can expect new all-time highs. And for example, for Fibonacci retracement, you could go from roughly 5,000 down to the bottom. Say this is the bottom. 618 is where? Right where we stated it should be. 618 is this orange box for me, and that's typically where cryptocurrency has the more probability to do its reversal before getting some major resistance, which would essentially start forming the right shoulder. Breaking above the neckline, pushing it to this all-time high. According to Fib, we'd be looking at around 10,000 and higher, maxing out maybe around 15,000. But cryptocurrency has proven us time and time again that it likes to run past what we think it would be going to. And for example, I'm bringing up this coin. I've brought it up in the past. You can trade this coin on MEXC. There's a reference link in the description below for that as well. And this coin has made hundreds of percentages while the market was bleeding out. I'll show you an exact example while I'm bringing this up for the Ethereum video that I am making. Is in this moment in time around August 6th to 10th, this is where we had the pullback after breaking roughly $10 to $11, where I kept on stating, go back in my videos, you can see when I bring up Tornado Cash, and if we break 11, we are going to see higher highs. Well, we tapped it multiple times. So from May until like July, you guys had many opportunities to enter and reap hundreds of percentages up and down and up and down and up again. Just 200, I think almost 300% we had scalped within these months while the rest of the market was bleeding. But now one very important thing is happening within this coin, and in reference back to around August, when it had this pullback, we had the founder of Ethereum supporting this coin. And immediately after his support, we saw it pump from roughly $10 to nearly 20, back down to 10, up to 21, back down to 10, and then back up to nearly 20 again. So it's been doing a lot of consolidation. It did pull underneath the 200 EMA, so it had this drop, but now we are about to cross a downward trend line. And according to my strategy, once we break this trend line and hold this as support, 200 EMA is very close, but we've seen this time and time again, whether it's XRP, XLM, whatever cryptocurrency, it typically has a tendency to pull back for the slingshot move, potentially tap a lower low than the previous low. However, this time it did not do it. So if Bitcoin pulls back, we could expect it to pull back once more. But if not, we could expect this to consolidate, test this downward trend line as support, and the 200 EMA is going to act as a baseball bat and smack this thing into a new universe, um, as its all-time high is $459, and we are starting to see that we crossed over the 200 EMA. We started building support off of that, and now the CM Guppy is more or less in our favor. Yes, the absolute low is down here around $1.50. Yes, there is support here around 424, 540, and 639, but we are currently at $8.87. If you guys are a member, 50% of everything I make goes to save animals' lives, and you guys have already been informed on this coin multiple times. And if you listen to the live feed that I did, you are currently up from that $7.80 entry point, which isn't a whole bunch of gain, but you guys are still in profit from your entry. And now waiting for it to cross this downward trend line, it is just a matter of time before the 200 EMA gets sick of this coin being underneath $10 and slaps it to new all-time highs, which, keeping in mind there's resistance around $21 up to $40, which is nearly a 4x, 5x from this current price point. Beyond that, it wouldn't be obscene to see 57 to even $88 or potentially even 146. $8.86 investment for a potential half a grand is not a bad bet, as we are showing more and more data showing this coin is getting some support. Hopefully these coins are informative. Hopefully these videos keep you guys up to date. Become members, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Good luck. Have fun with it. I will see you guys on the next one.